This is a permanency hearing involving the Shelley child. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing one of the alleged fathers, Jade Scales. He is not with us, but my understanding is he signed an affidavit of relinquishment, so I wasn't really expecting him. Mr. Michelson is with us representing the mother, Ms. Shelley, who is also with us. Mr. Jackson is with us representing any unknown father. Mr. Justin Scales is also an alleged father. He is not with us. I didn't really expect him. He's not been with us yet.
Who do you work for?
St. Francis Ministries.
And did you prepare the court report for this case?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can we get an update on Heavenly since the filing of the court report?
There's not anything different from the court report. Heavenly's doing really great in placement. She is meeting all her milestones. She is going to have to go see a specialist in regards to one of her eyes, just to make sure that the lagging is not anything that's affecting her major organs or anything of the sort. So that's just the update for Heavenly.
And regarding Ms. Shelley,
Sorry to interrupt, but can you explain, I guess, a little bit about the eye issue a little bit further? I'm sorry, Judge, to interrupt. I didn't get what she said she had. A lichen?
No, I think I can ask additional questions. Ms. Garcia, you referred to the child seeing an ophthalmologist appointment, and you said the eye was lagging. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so she has, I think, what's commonly referred to as a lazy eye. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Is there any additional information we have on that issue?
No, we just had to wait for the specialist to reach out to placement to get her scheduled in which they were supposed to. I haven't touched base with them since the holiday.
Okay. And regarding Ms. Shelley, how is Ms. Shelley doing on her services?
She's doing very well on her services. So she has completed all of her services. She actually provided a parent certificate for me, and she has completed the parenting classes through the Padre program. And that was the last service that she had pending, besides the ongoing drug screening.
Okay. And are there any issues with the ongoing drug screens?
No, there's not.
Okay. I understand in the past there was, I think, a diluted screen. And how far long ago was that?
We actually got it diluted recently, but she is being observed during those. So the initial diluted that she got would have been in June. And since June, she has been observed whenever she goes in drug screens. So with the diluted that she got recently, there is not any concerns because she was observed during that drug screen.
And I'm a little bit confused. You're saying she had a diluted in June and she had one recently. When was the recent one?
It would have been the one in November. And those results, I just got them this morning.
Okay, great. Will you be filing those as well?
Yes.
Thank you, Sylvia. And I think there was also a period where she didn't appear for the drug screen. How long ago was that?
Yes, that was in July.
Has she attended her drug screen since July?
Yes, she has.
Okay, fantastic. And is she participating in any ongoing support group for staying sober?
No, she's not.
All right. Are there any recommended services we are asking the court to order regarding Ms. Shelley today?
No, we are not.
And regarding Jade Scales, what are the updates on Jade?
He has relinquished his rights, and so he was not willing to do any services just because he was already with the thought of relinquishing. So he did not want to move forward with services.
And regarding Justin Scales, what is the report on Justin Scales?
Justin has been interested in doing some services. He is going through their chemo right now, so it's kind of hard for him to be able to do his services just because his health kind of is taking priority at the moment. He said that he would be willing to do some services. He would be willing to do a DNA test. It would just kind of have to depend on how he's able to get around with the chemo, and then also he was pending a surgery. So those were things that were taking priority at the moment.
And the court has already ordered DNA testing for him, is that correct?
That is correct.
What are the updates on getting those DNA sample collections scheduled?
The scheduling has not been set yet because we have to fill out a form that is still pending.
And what information are you missing for the form?
I would have to speak to Justin and get an address for him to see where he's actually staying in Oklahoma, because I don't have an actual physical address of where he's staying in Oklahoma.
Have you made prior requests for him to give you his address?
I have, but because he was up and down a lot going to specialists, he really did not have an address because he's currently staying with friends. So he kind of has just been couch hopping while there, because that's the support that he has as far as getting to his chemotherapies and all that stuff.
In regards to visitation, how are mom's visitations going with Heavenly?
They're going very well. Brittany is very engaged with Heavenly. She changes diapers. She does feedings when needed. Now that Heavenly is eating baby food, she's more active on what she's eating. She communicates with placement as far as things that she can be eating and not be eating. Just because she is sensitive, Heavenly is sensitive with foods, Senate things, and all of that. So she's trying to minimize any outbreaks or anything of the sort.
Okay, and is that information being shared with Miss Shelley as far as what the child is not reactive to?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and has Jade Scales stopped visiting the child?
Yes, he has.
And has Justin at any point had a visit with the child?
No, he has not.
Now, is it her fiance or her boyfriend?
It's her fiance.
Okay, her fiance is allowed to participate in one of those visits once a month. Has he been doing that?
Yes, he has.
How are those visits going with him?
They're going well. He's also engaged. He does participate in the visits with Brittany. He doesn't do any diaper changings, but he is attentive to whatever the girls need. And when I say girls, I mean Shelly, Brittany, and Heavenly.
Are we asking the court to order any drug screens today?
We are not.
Can you please in detail describe the department's reasonable efforts to reunify the family?
Yes, we have provided a tailored family plan for Miss Shelley that would help her meet reunification. And it is tailored specifically to her needs of the case, which were she has addressed the drug issue and the parenting classes. And St. Francis provided the services, and we guided her through those. She also has visitation that is monitored through St. Francis, and that takes place every week.
Okay. And would it be contrary to the welfare for the child to be returned to the parents today?
It would.
And would it present a continuing danger to her physical health or safety?
Yes, it would at the moment.
Okay. What more are we wanting to see from Ms. Shelley before we start the reunification process for the child?
We would like to start unsupervised visits with her first, and then we would like to transition her into reunification after the unsupervised visitation.
Okay. And are we asking the court to order any changes to her visitation today?
We would like for the unsupervised visits.
And how many hours per week of unsupervised visitation are we asking the court to order?
So far, Brittany has had up to 5 to 6 hours with her supervised. We do think that maybe 4 unsupervised hours would be good. It would be a good start for her.
Okay, great. Do we have any other requests for the court?
No, we do not.
All right, pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Michelson?
Thank you. You indicated in your report that Brittany maintains regular contact with you,
Yes,
and you've also testified that her visits with Heavenly have been appropriate, nurturing.
yes,
Okay, and she's completed all requirements you've testified to,
yes,
and she completed counseling without further recommendations.
correct.
Okay, and she's tested negative since July 25, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So she's maintained approximately 5 months, almost 6 months of sobriety?
Yes, that's correct.
And that's what the department was looking for, is 6 months of sobriety?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any reason that a monitored return can't be considered for her?
We would just like to see her doing unsupervised visits first, because all of her visits up until the end of November were all monitored by St. Francis. So we haven't yet transitioned her into unsupervised visits. So we do not want to overwhelm the baby, and we do not want to overwhelm Brittany, so that we can have a successful reunification.
Progress being what it is there any reason that the department can't consider that as part of a transitional plan?
At the moment, I don't, or actually, it would be something that the department would have to take on. So it would be something that I would have to staff with my supervisor and director, just to make sure that we are all on the same page.
Okay. Pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Mullinex?
Ms. Garcia, have you seen the relinquishment for Mr. Scales at this point?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and so that just needs to be proved up whenever it's been filed. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I pass the witness.
All right, Mr. Jackson?
No questions.
All right, Ms. Wiggins?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Garcia, just to clarify, July, she didn't appear for a drug screen. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So we have about 4 months of sobriety shown via drug screen. Is that correct?
With November, so it'd be 4 months, or I mean 5 months, sorry.
Okay. Okay. And in regards to her hair follicle, the last one was September. Is that right?
Yes,
And y'all ask about every 3 months. Is that correct?
that's correct.
So would you have any objection, since we're about to start unsupervised, that she have another hair follicle before we begin those?
I would have no objection.
Okay. All right. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Anyone have further questions for Ms. Garcia?
No, Your Honor.
No?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, I've heard what you said about she just hasn't had unsupervised visits yet. Can you tell me exactly what the continuing danger to the child's physical health and safety is to start a monitored return right now?
Yeah, so up until about September, she did not have stability. So she did not have employment, she didn't have housing. So we would just like to see a little bit more stability time. And that would also that would allow the time for the unsupervised visits.
All right, well, but if we start a monitored return now, we'll kind of see how Heavenly's going to be before we come up on a final hearing in January. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
Okay, all right. All right, then, Ms. Gutierrez, anything further from the department?
No, Your Honor, we are asking, I think I'll join in with Ms. Wiggins' request for a hair follicle drug screen on Ms. Shelley, and I would ask the court to reserve ordering a monitored return if the court is inclined to do so until those results come back.
Okay, all right, then, Mr. Michelson, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Mullinax.
No witnesses, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson?
No witnesses.
All right, and Miss Wiggins, excuse me.
No witnesses, Judge.
All right, then, give me just a second here. Miss Wiggins, recommendations?
Thank you, Judge. I just recommend that the department remain temporary managing conservator of the child, that placement be continued. I agree that she has worked her services and so should be entitled, of course, to unsupervised visitation with the child. And I believe a hair follicle just before we do that would, better safe than sorry.
Okay. All right, then. I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I'll continue Heavenly's current placement. I'm going to order that Miss Shelley give a hair strand drug screen by 4 p.m. today at Care Express in Amarillo. If that hair strand drug screen is negative, I'm going to order we begin a transition monitored return immediately, and we'll start that by her to begin having 6 hours weekly unsupervised visits at this time as soon as we get that negative hair strand drug screen back. Then transition I want to see how she's going to do with her child back before we come up on the final hearing in January. So if that hair strand is negative, we'll start a transition monitored return now, starting with unsupervised visits. So,
Your Honor, may I ask a clarifying question?
yes, ma'am. Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
wanting that placement to occur prior to the January final?
I mean, we'll see how it's going. If, Mr. Michelson will file something if he thinks it's time and nobody's making it happen. We'll set a hearing on that if we need to. I'd like to see her home before we come to the final hearing to see if we're going to have any hiccups. So,
And Your Honor, as well, are we extending that dismissal date out with the monitored return?
yes, once that hair strand comes back, then we'll consider that. That's the day that the transition monitored return starts. So, okay, I will set a final hearing in this case for January 26th. If something comes up, if we have some hiccups, like I said, we can always make that hearing on January 26th another permanency hearing if we run into some problems. So sounds to me like probably we should be ready to close this case by then, if not before. So, all right, Ms. Shelley, congratulations on completing all your services. I think you've done everything we've asked you to do, so we can't ask any more than that.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yes, ma'am. This is a permanency hearing involving the Nevins child. Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Naranjo is with us representing the mother, Ms. Jones, who is with us. And Mr. Barfield is with us representing the father, Mr. Nevins, who is with us. That's all of the parties. I have Shelby Brady in the waiting room.
That'll be my worker, Judge.
Okay. All right, I'll get her in and that clears out our waiting room.
Thank you, Judge. Before I call Miss Brady, I did want the department would move to admit 4 exhibits that were sent over this morning. Those are 2 judgments and orders of deferred adjudication. Petitioners exhibits 1A and 1B are related to 3433B, which is styled State of Texas versus Xavier Cash Nevins. That is a Randall County case. And that's an indictment and a order for deferred on continuous family violence against the family, with the victim being Riley Jones. Petitioners exhibit 2A and 2B are Potter County cases styled State of Texas versus Xavier Cash Nevins in 85990A CR, and the victim in that one is a Savannah Gallegos. All of these are certified self-authenticating copies from the respective clerk's offices.
All right, any objections? All right, then petitioners 1A, 1B, 2A, and 2B are admitted.
And Judge, the purpose for admitting those was just to clarify. I think there's been some confusions in past courts as to whether or not Mr. Nevins is on probation and what he's on probation for as it relates to the mother in this case. And so hopefully that will help clarify legally what's going on.
Okay, all right then.
And then the department would call Shelby Brady.
Okay, Ms. Brady, if you'd unmute. Thank you, ma'am. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wildman, you may proceed, and I have read the report.
Thank you, Judge. All right, so Ms. Brady, let's get an update on Zayden. Where is he currently placed?
He is currently reunified with Riley Jones.
All right. And when was he placed with her?
October 10th.
And how has that placement been going?
It has been going good. He's very bonded to his mom and likes being with her. She's made it to doctor's appointments and all of the things to ensure that he's getting taken care of if he gets sick. He's eating well, meeting all of his milestones. He just had his 15-month doctor's appointment and that went well. The doctor didn't have any concerns.
Awesome. All right. And so, as far as Miss Jones is concerned, does she have any services that she still needs to complete at this time?
At this time, she's completed all of her services.
All right. I believe kind of in the past there had been some concerns about her employment stability. Have there been any updates in that regard?
She is still having employment instability with her current job, and she's working on she has been applying to other jobs and trying to find a more stable employment. She has continued to maintain a job and have income. The schedule is just very inconsistent.
Okay. Does she have plans as far as who will watch Zayden when she's working? Does she have all of that sorted out?
Her great-grandmother, who was previously placement, Deborah Weatherby, is continuing to be her child care, and that continues to be her child care plan.
Perfect. As far as, I guess let's shift and talk about Mr. Nevins. So, were he and Miss Jones were ordered to complete couples counseling, I believe, at the last hearing. Has that been done?
Couples counseling has been completed. I have received the notes from Jennings, and he did recommend further couple counseling sessions to end.
Okay, so today are you going to be asking that the court order that they complete those additional couples counseling sessions?
No, I'm sorry, that there is not additional.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That it's been done, and he recommends to end.
All right, perfect. And does Mr. Nevins have any other services that he's needing to complete at this time?
Not at this time. He did go for an outpatient intake, and they did not recommend him for outpatient services.
Okay. Has he been drug screening for the department?
He has.
Based on, and I guess when was the last time he went to drug screen?
The last time he went to drug screen was on November 24th, I believe.
Okay.
I just saw that result this morning, so it's not been filed.
All right. Does the department still have concerns about his substance use?
Yes, his previous hair follicle in October that was e-filed was 0.2 for marijuana.
Okay. And so, does the department have concerns that that still has not been addressed or ceased, I guess, at this point?
Yes.
Now he's completed BIP, correct?
Yes.
What
And
sort
he's
of
provided the certificate.
he did provide the certificate?
Yes, it's been uploaded.
Perfect. All right. So what's going on as far as his employment and housing stability?
He is currently living with his father, still at this time, and then his job, he is working at Tyson.
Okay. And does he know yet, I guess, long term, whether or not his shift at Tyson's been affected by the layoffs?
Yes, it has been affected. We discussed that, and he plans to go. They have like some type of stipend that they're paying out over a period of time after they officially get laid off, and then he plans on getting his CDL.
Okay.
In that time where that money can cover that.
All right. And so, now that he has completed BIP and the couples counseling, has that affected, I guess, the sort of visitation that he's been getting with Zayden?
As of last week, he was approved for this week to begin having 6 hours of supervised visitation weekly, and that would be supervised by Deborah Weatherby.
Okay. And that was, again, the previous placement?
Yes.
All right. What sort of concerns does the department still have, if any, regarding reunifying Zayden with Mr. Nevins at this point?
If there is continued marijuana use and the lack of honesty behind it, that would be a factor or of concern, just due to the honesty. As far as the probation for continuous violence against mother, I think that's really it at this time.
And talking about that concerns about the continuous violence, what have Mr. Nevins and Miss Jones told you their plan is for the future regarding their relationship?
They both would like to move in together. They both would like to even have like a monitored return, where St. Francis can monitor them, and being back in the home together. Xavier has stated that he would like to have unsupervised contact with Xaden. Basically, they just want to be able to have their family back together and be together.
And is the 6 hours supervised, is that the first step towards working in that direction?
Yes.
And is the department in agreement with working towards the goal that they've stated, as long as we're taking it sort of slow and making sure that that domestic violence issue doesn't, I guess, arise again?
Yes.
Okay. And so, has a full plan been put together yet, or are we kind of playing it by ear and seeing how the increased visitation goes?
A full plan has not been created. It should be created this week-ish, that I'll be working on so that I can staff with my director.
Okay. And what sort of, I guess, what sort of step up process or things are you looking to have approved by the director?
A step up to like so his visitation has already been increased, but then a plan to get to ensure that like the domestic violence, that they have a chance to work through if there's any issues that arise while they're in the home together. So a step up, I think, would be something like Riley being able to eventually supervise the visits, and then maybe like an overnight or something according to that. I'm not sure exactly.
Okay. But you're not opposed at this point to them working up to some sort of reunification with both parents in the home?
No, not at this time.
Okay. Now, as far as Miss Riley goes, do you have any, I mean, he's been home for quite a while, so is it fair to say that there are no continuing danger concerns as far as him being home with just Miss Jones?
Not at this time.
All right. And do you believe the department is making reasonable efforts to reunify with Xavier?
Yes.
Are you hopeful that that plan will be approved by the director so that we can start moving in that direction?
Yes.
Now, I understand that right now the plan is for them to get back together and live together. Does the department feel like it might be appropriate to do mediation between the parents in case that ultimately is not what they decide to do?
Yes.
Would you ask that the court order that today?
I would.
And let's see, are there any other services or anything that need to be court ordered today?
Not at this time.
And do you, I guess if the last drug screen for Mr. Nevins was at the end of last month, we probably don't need one for him. Do we need a new one for Miss Riley or for Miss Jones?
No, she did test last month around the same time as well.
Perfect. Are there any other updates about the parents or the child that the court needs at this time?
Not at this time.
All right, I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ronho.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Brady, per Mr. Nevins's probation conditions, he's allowed to have contact with Ms. Jones. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so he's finished his betters intervention. He's finished the couples counseling. So really the only barrier and main concern of the department is one positive drug screen. Is that correct?
Yes, the drug screens are the concern.
And would you agree with me that that drug screen was I think 0.2 for marijuana?
The hair follicle was 0.2.
And would you agree with me that's a very low drug screen level, correct?
Yes.
Especially in comparison to his prior screens, correct?
So I'm not a professional, I don't know exactly it, but with his prior screen back, I believe it was in April, it was 14. And then I believe the cutoff is like 0.1 for marijuana, but I just
So
know.
basically he's on the downward trend, correct?
That's what it appeared with the hair follicle.
So what is the main concern with not having Miss Jones supervise visitation between Mr. Nevins and the child at this point?
The main concern was just ensuring that the increased visitation, honestly, with all of it, Riley's schedule inconsistency and then Xavier's schedule, I don't know how they would actually schedule it, just with logistics of it. But before, it has been a concern of them, them being together, and my supervisor still wanting to ensure that we're watching that contact and making sure that Xaden and Xavier have their time appropriate.
So Mr. Nevins has completed majority of his services that would really mitigate the concerns of the department, but the department still doesn't want to move forward with Miss Jones supervising visitation. Is that right?
It's more so been about Xavier's combativeness with the department that there's been concerns.
But it's pretty common that parents don't get along with the department. Is that right?
Sometimes.
I mean, even Miss Jones had issues getting along with the department. Is that right?
Yeah, in the beginning. Or not, I
I'll
guess,
pass
in
the
the beginning.
witness.
All right, thank you. Mr. Barfield?
Yes, thank you, sir. So I'm kind of confused here. I also noted, didn't my client have a negative urine sample for drugs just recently as well?
At the time of the hair follicle, his UA was negative.
Okay, so we have a negative UA and an almost immeasurable marijuana test, and that is a downward trend. Is that correct?
That did appear to be a downward trend.
Okay. He's also completed all of his services. Is that correct?
Yes.
He is allowed under his terms of probation to be around Riley. Is that correct?
Yes, to my understanding.
Okay. And he is cooperating with the department.
At this time, yes.
He has provided you all his certificates.
At this time, yes.
Okay. So does the department does not have any problem with him being around Riley at this time? Is that also correct?
Yes, that's correct. For the most
So
part.
why couldn't Riley supervise the visits?
Like I said, due to the previous concerns about the combativeness with the department.
Do you understand you're contradicting yourself?
Yes.
Judge, I'm going to object to argumentative.
Overall.
Yeah. That's all the questions I have.
All right, then, Ms. Wiggins.
I have no questions, Judge.
All right. Right. Anything further from the department, Ms. Weldon?
Yes, Judge, I just wanted to clarify something. Ms. Brady, do the drug screen results that from Mr. Nevins's most recent screen, I guess, contradict the downward trend you were previously seeing?
Yes.
That I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Anyone else? All right, then, anything further from the department?
No, Your Honor, we just asked for the findings of reasonable efforts and continuing danger solely for Mr. Nevins at this time, and that we be ordered to do mediation.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Naranjo, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, but I would request, it's my client's request that Miss Jones be allowed to supervise Mr. Nevins's contact with the child.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Barfield, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I would agree with Mr. Ronho. I believe I agree with the stair step. I think that's a good idea. I agree with the mediation, but I don't see any reason why Riley shouldn't be able to supervise based on the testimony today.
All right, thank you. All right, then, Ms. Wiggins, did you have any witnesses?
I did not, Judge.
All right, Ms. Wiggins, recommendations?
It's my recommendation that the department remain temporary managing conservator, the child continue placement with the mother. The child's doing very well with the mother. I agree that there shouldn't be any bar for the mother to supervise visitation between the father and the child. I think they should bond as a family. I agree that it should be a stair step, but I don't see any reason why that can't happen.
Okay. All right, then based on what I've heard, then I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I'll continue the child's current placement with mother. I'll order mediation in this case. I'll order that Mr. Nevin's 6 hours visitation begin now, and it may be supervised by mother if she's available. If not, whoever else can do it. And I just to clarify that, if she can supervise part of it, but she doesn't have 6 hours to do it weekly, then we'll have to find somebody else to supervise what she can. But I don't have a problem with her supervising his visits either. I will order, however, that I'm all in favor of this stepped up plan that we've talked about. I will, however, I want to order that Mr. Nevins is not allowed to move in with mother and the child until he provides negative hair strand and UA drug screens. So, okay, I'll set a final in this case for January 26th. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing. So parties can either ask their lawyers or anybody can go on the court's online docket a day or two before January 26th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. So, okay, we will be in recess on this case. I'll be back at 10:15 to call another Randall County case. That's a final hearing on the Pope child. So we will be in recess for a few minutes. Y'all have a good week.
Judge, you said January 26th. Is it for the final or for a perm?
For a final.
For a final. Okay, I had
Yeah.
March 16th on my docket for some reason.
I had that in my notes, but I show a dismissal date of February 16th. And
okay, I was confused. Okay, thank you, Judge.
Yeah. I don't think this has been extended, has it? So that's why I bumped it up. So if something comes up, we could always extend, but so far, hopefully we'll be ready to finalize this on January 26th.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, I'll see some of you in a few minutes. Y'all have a good week.
They did.
It's set for a final hearing. I do understand that there's been a motion to extend filed. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother. Ms. Pope, who is with us, and Ms. Lucero is with us representing the father, Mr. Pope, who is with us. That's all the parties. I have Abigail Lawrence in the waiting room.
Abigail Lawrence is my worker on this one, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll get her in, and that clears out our waiting room.
Thank you.
Okay, let's first take up Ms. Gutierrez, the motion to extend. What's the reason for that?
Your Honor, the child's birthday is January 3rd of 2026. She turns 18 that day, and we think it's in her best interest and that it supports good cause that she be allowed to age out of the department's care without legally affecting the parents' rights for her. We think that's in her best interest.
All right. Let me just ask, does anyone in objection to extending the case for the reason that Ms. Gutierrez has just stated?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, then I will find, in fact, that there is extraordinary circumstances and it is in the child's best interest that I extend this case and retain the case on the court's docket. So we will proceed today just as a permanency hearing, and I have read the report in this case. So Ms. Gutierrez, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. The department calls Abigail Lawrence as its witness.
All right. Ms. Lawrence, if you'd raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you, Your Honor. Abigail, who do you work for?
I work for St. Francis Ministries.
And did you prepare the court report filed on November 20th of 2025?
Yes, I did.
Your Honor, we ask for judicial notice of that court report.
Okay, so noted.
Thank you. What are the updates on Brianna since the filing of the court report?
All of the big stuff has really stayed the same with Brianna. She's doing well in her placement. She really has built a good and trusting relationship with her house parents. They're, very supportive of her, and And, they make sure that she's getting to work on time and keeping her motivated to level up in their level system at placement. She's still working part-time at Market Street, and she is really enjoying it. She's told me that she's, trying to be more social with her coworkers, and she's been, trying to find a hobby, is what she told me, outside of, just going to work and on days off, really just staying home. So she's trying to keep busy. We have her social security card intact now, and so we'll get her a real ID as soon as possible. And yet, overall, she's doing good.
And when she turns 18, does she plan to go into extended foster care?
At this time, that is not her plan.
What is her plan?
At this time, she plans to age out of care and move to the Dallas area where her biological family is living.
And does she have a place to stay lined up?
She's reported that, yes, she does have a place to stay.
Thank you. And is she continuing her therapy at this time?
Yes, she is.
And is she continuing with her psychotropic medications?
Yes.
Are those psychotropic medications being reviewed at least every 30 days by a psychiatrist?
Yes, ma'am.
In regards to Jessie Pope, how is she progressing on her service plan?
Jessie has, done pretty much everything that we've asked for on her service plan. They're just working to maintain that relationship with Brianna and keep it stabilized.
And regarding Billy Pope, has he completed his services as well?
That is correct.
And you talked about mom and dad maintaining their relationship with Brianna. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So they have, approved unsupervised weekly visits with Brianna. They kind of work it out to where it works for their schedule and Bree's work schedule. Sometimes it's a dinner during the week, or, they've gone to the park and things like that. And of course, they are continually checking in with Bree, texting her, and giving her a call, and they're just there if she needs them.
That is great. Regarding additional services, are there any additional services that need to be ordered?
None at this time.
Can you please describe the department's reasonable efforts to reunify the family?
The department, we've, created service plans for both Billy and Jessie Pope to hopefully help them gain knowledge on how to best care for Brianna. I meet with them in person monthly, and, we check in via phone call or text message a couple of times a month. And then, we've approved those weekly unsupervised visits with the Popes and Bree, just to work on building and maintaining that parent-child bond.
Okay, and as providing services, has that also been part of the department's efforts to reunify the family?
Yes.
And due to Brianna's needs, would it be contrary to her welfare to return home at this time?
Yes.
And would it be a continuing danger to her to be returned to her parents at this time?
Yes.
And is that solely due to the child's needs?
Yes.
But as well, have the parents expressed that they are not able to accept Brianna back into the home at this time?
That is correct.
Okay. Do we have any other requests for the court?
Not at this time.
Pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Mullinax.
I have no questions.
Ms. Lucero,
No questions.
Ms. Wiggins.
Yes, Judge. Abby, I know you're new to the case, but do you feel like you've kind of talked to the child and formed a bit of a bond?
I believe so.
Okay. And are you still trying to encourage her to stay in care or go to extended care and continue her previous plan of that she had so well constructed?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Lawrence?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Abby, has Brianna been informed that she could come back into care if something were to go south when she goes out on her own?
Yes, absolutely. And we made sure that she has she'll have my number and her PAL worker's number, and she knows who to call if things were to go south. So
Great. Okay. All right. Thank you. Is there any need, Abby, for us to set another hearing right before she turns 18, or we're just going to let her age out?
I don't think we would need another hearing, but somebody may think differently.
Yeah, Your Honor, I think a perm, just the regular 3 to 4 months out would be fine.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then, Ms. Wiggins, do you have any other recommendations to make?
No, Judge, I was disappointed to hear that her plan changed. We had I thought, a good conversation. She's doing really well in her placement, really enjoys it. So I'm hopeful, this is a phase and will change, like a lot of our kids do, but we'll support her either way.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you. Give me just a minute here. All right, then. We'll continue the department's temporary managing conservator, continue her current placement. And I'll go ahead and I'll set a permanency hearing for, let's see here, March 22nd, 2026. That will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing. Parties can ask their lawyers, or anybody can go on the court's online docket a day or two before March 22nd to see exactly what time of day we'll have that hearing. That way you don't have to sit around in the waiting rooms for us. So, okay, that will conclude this hearing. This is an adversary hearing involving the Champlin child. Ms. Gutierrez is with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Ms. Mullinax is with us representing the mother. Ms. Champlin, who is with us. Ms. Lucero has not joined us yet. She represents the father, Mr. Munguia. I show he's incarcerated in Potter County. He is not with us, and there's no one that appears to be from the Potter County Detention Center. While we're waiting for Ms. Lucero, I have Keisha Hendrick, Treason Pearson, Ruben Martinez, and Mel Tucker.
If all of them could be allowed in, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ruben is my investigator with the supervisor, Mel, and the other 3 are the St. Francis workers.
Okay. Okay, we'll wait for Ms. Lucero here for just a bit, and then I'll be back.
Thank you.
Right, Ms. Lucero has now joined us. Ms. Lucero, I show your client's incarcerated in Potter County. Were you expecting him?
No, Your Honor, but I have had contact with him, and I had an announcement to make to the court on his behalf.
Okay. All right, that is all the parties, and no one is in the waiting room. So, Ms. Lucero, what's your announcement?
Your Honor, Mr. Munguia, like I said, he is in Potter County. He's working on the charges that are pending against him, but he asked that he understood that likelihood of temporary managing conservatorship to the department, but he is requesting DNA testing.
Okay. All right. All right, Ms. Gutierrez, then are we ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor, we are ready to proceed. I heard from Ms. Lucero and Ms. Mullinax, and I've let Ms. Wiggins know as well that the parents are in agreement with the department being named temporary managing conservator, and the parents at this time we're asking but that the mother alone be named possessory conservator since dad has asked for genetic testing.
Okay. Can someone tell me where the child is currently placed, the type of facility in city or county?
Ruben, can you answer that, please?
Child's with the grandmother.
Paternal or maternal?
Maternal.
Okay.
And here in Amarillo.
Okay, thank you.
Did I get that right, Ruben?
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, we are asking as well for findings that the department made reasonable efforts to avoid removal as well as reunify. Ms. Champlin has had a visit with the child, and we've been in communication with both parents.
Okay. All right, I will make the findings of reasonable efforts. All right, then, Ms. Mullinax, you've heard the agreement is announced. Is that your client's agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. Also, she has done an intake with a rehab and is waiting to get a bed. So we just ask, I don't know if you have to order it or not, but we would just ask that she be allowed to go to rehab without doing an OSAR assessment because she's willing to do that.
Okay, great. I think maybe I do, but it sure can't hurt if I do. So I will, I'll take that into consideration. So, all right, Ms. Mullinax, I guess you didn't have any witnesses then, correct?
No witnesses, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Lucero, I've heard your agreement. So, Ms. Wiggins, are you in agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, I will approve that agreement. I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I will name Ms. Champlin as temporary possessory conservator. I will continue the current placement of the child, and I will order paternity testing for Mr. Munguia.
Okay, and one more thing, Your Honor.
Oh.
Is Mel Tucker logged in? There's so many people in right now.
She is. I let her in. Let me see if she.
Okay. I see her.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
here. I don't know why my camera's not working, but I'm here.
Mel, are we asking for genetic, not genetic testing, for drug screening to be completed by Ms. Champlin today?
Yes, I would like her to go.
And would that be for a urinalysis drug screen?
We have the hair from a month ago, but I'd like to get an observed UA on her.
Observed UA. Okay. And that's our only request, Your Honor. We rest other than that.
okay. All right, then give me just a second. Ms. Mullinex, does your client have transportation to get to Care Express for the UA drug screen?
I'm not sure. Kayla, do you have a way to get to a drug screen? You're on mute.
Hear me now?
Yes.
At this time, I don't have transportation, but I can try to find a ride.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll do then. Is Mel, are you the primary worker at this point at least?
No, I'm the supervisor.
Supervisor? Who's the worker?
That would be me.
Okay. Okay, so when we're through here, Ms. Champlin, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Ms. Tucker and Mr. Martinez. Y'all can arrange, they'll get you a ride if you need one. So I'll put you all in a breakout room here in just a minute. Y'all can discuss that and work that out. So
If you would like, I could just call her and we can
Okay.
have one of the HSTs take her or whatnot whenever we can get that scheduled.
Okay, sounds good. So Ms. Champlin, you can expect a call from Mr. Martinez here shortly. All right. I think then I will, as I said, I'll approve the agreement, name the department temporary managing conservator, name Ms. Champlin temporary possessory conservator, continue the placement. I'll order paternity testing for Mr. Munguia, and I will order that Ms. Champlin provide an observed UA by 4 p.m. today at Care Express here in Amarillo. Our next hearing will be the status hearing. That will be on January 5th, 2026. It will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties can either ask their lawyers or anyone can go on the court's online docket a day or two before January 5th to see what time of day we'll have that hearing. That way you don't have to sit in the waiting room waiting for us. So, okay, I appreciate y'all working that out. For those of you involved, I'll be back at 1:15 to call another Randall County case. That's an adversary hearing involving the justice children. And I will put everybody on notice that at 2:15 we're taking a break because I have a Dallam County case that we are up against the deadline as of today. The case has already been extended. It's already been called for final hearing at one point. I'm just going to have to go in and see where we're at, and then we'll either continue the 2:15 hearing, or we may have to just reschedule for another time. I'm just, any of you that are involved, I'm putting you on notice for that. So, okay, once again, thank you for working that out. I'll see some of you back at 2:15. Otherwise, everybody have a good week.
You mean 1:15, Judge?
I'm sorry. No, 1:15. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my other one. So, yeah,
Okay,
1:15.
thanks, Judge.
See some of you
Okay.
back at 1:15. Okay, thank y'all.
Thank you.